Well, philanthropy is an important part and a central part of my life, I think. I first really got contemplating this aspect when I was studying one night a week at the School of Philosophy, which is a school of practical philosophy. It's about how can you apply philosophy into your day-to-day life. And we used to meet once a week and we'd get a subject matter which we would discuss and learn. And I really did that for 5 years, and I eventually got to the stage of all the wise men that have gone before us. What does it mean to have a happy life? What does that really mean? And there were some consistent messages amongst all of them, from religious leaders to wise men, and that was pretty much that. Obviously the aspect of love is very important, but to be of benefit to your fellow man was a consistent message there. And if you think about all the religions, they sort of preach the same sort of thing about how can you live your life to be of benefit to your fellow man. So when I got to that point, I started reflecting about how could I shape my life and my career that would be able to enhance these aspects. And that's when I started changing the viewpoint. I was using business as my vehicle because I was an entrepreneur. And how could I then create my business environments to reflect those values? And so I started shaping my working and my purpose piece about being aligned to making money to be of benefit to my fellow man. In other words, setting the foundation up and giving to others. So it gave me a purpose. I mean, if you're making money for money's sake, it's a bit of a hollow existence, I think, you know, and I felt that material goods wasn't really the thing that rang my bells, but certainly benefiting another certainly rang my bells. It certainly got to a stage where I felt alignment now. And when you get to that stage, it's really quite powerful because you actually give yourself permission to succeed, to be the very best you can be, because it's not about you anymore. It can actually be about the benefit of your fellow man, you know, and that gives you a great amount of energy to be able to create. I think often we have an assumption that resources are somehow limited and therefore we should hold on to them until something happens that really pushes you to the limit. I think you should go the other way. In other words, be a bit brave, you know. Step into the space when you are a little fearful about giving and find what it feels like for you once you have given it, and also to look at the outcomes of the work that you've been able to create because of that gift. And I think that means that we get that resonance between our fellow human beings, you know, because we've all got that common element of human spirit amongst us, you know, and when we benefit another, we're really mirroring the need for that human being to connect to us, and it's a very, very satisfying thing. Probably the most significant ones have been the stuff that I've done overseas. So the developing world, you can make so much of a difference with a small amount of money, and so poverty alleviation programs we've done overseas have been fabulous. But at the same time, I've loved my engagement with the funding network. You know, the ability to be able to ignite early stage entrepreneurs to be able to get out there and create. You know, to have permission to do good in the world. You know, to be able to ignite fresh minds and fresh ideas to live their potential is a very exciting space to be in. The one thing that's absolutely clear when you look at philanthropy is there's a lack of funding. The governments can't give more because their resource pool is limited and it's in crisis care. And people themselves are feeling charity fatigue. You know, they're always getting a tin shaked in front of them. So the solution, I think, is really innovation. Innovation and coming up with new ways of solving some of community's problems. And that really is entrepreneurship. That's what that's really about, at the coalface, making a difference. And those that can see and innovate are going to be the leaders of the future, I think.